Hey guys, thanks for coming back to On The Go Crypto. We have a very serious, very wild, and some are going to call it conspiracy KASPA video to go over today. I just want to get right into it because there's a lot to cover, and I try to keep this stuff short for you guys because I know you guys are always on the go. Thank you guys for subscribing and liking. I really appreciate you guys. Now let's get started. This video is about KASPA, but more pointedly, it's about Jonathan Sampolinski, the founder and creator of KASPA, and his connections to Satoshi Nakamoto. Those that don't know, created Bitcoin, possibly a pseudonym, anonymous, nonetheless. No one knows who he is, etc., etc. Now, the Ethereum white paper references, as some of you may know, Sampolinski and Aviv Zohar are the creators of the Ghost protocol that makes KASPA KASPA. It's KASPA's secret sauce. It is a generalization of the Nakamoto consensus that is Bitcoin. Now, it's not a secret that Jonathan's understanding of the Nakamoto consensus and his dedication to perfecting it and improving it and solving the blockchain trilemma, which is security, scalability, and speed. For those of you that don't know, that's the trilemma. KASPA solves the trilemma. That's what makes KASPA sexy, basically, in a nutshell. So here it is in the Ethereum white paper. For anybody that doesn't believe that, it's there. He's referenced and named specifically by Vitalik Buterin in the Ethereum white paper. That is a very big deal. Now, moving on. KASPA is a fair launch. Just very briefly, it is a fair launch, and that is the Satoshi Nakamoto way of things. Very fair, very transparent, for the people, community-oriented. Now, this Medium article was written by Jonathan on September 21st, 2021, okay? Just remember the date. I'm not going to go into this article. It's very findable. You simply type in his name, Medium article, fair launch. This will come up. All right, September 21st, 2021. Now, this is the Ethereum all-time price chart as of today. Now, I want you to zoom in here. This was the top. We'll zoom into the top. We'll call the top 46.35 for ETH, okay? Zoom in. The run up to that top, guys, the day that run started. Look at that. September 21st, 21. Now, maybe that's nothing. I don't know. I'm just pointing it out because I think it's worth pointing out. The bottom of that run, the actual bottom that led up to the all-time high of Ethereum, we just said that Vitalik Buterin quoted Jonathan in his own white paper for ETH. I'm just saying it happens to be the same day is the run-up. So, all right, let's move on from that. Maybe that's not a big deal. There's a nice Reddit post here that simplifies a lot of the similarities and some of the conspiracy stuff oriented around Jonathan and Satoshi. I will link this in the video description. I'm not going to go over it because there's a lot here, and we're about to go over it more specifically in another field. So I will link that, though, down in the description. It is worth checking out. Now, this is a post by Nicholas Ingblom, and it talks about here, we're going to talk about the possibility of Jonathan being Satoshi. It gives a description in the beginning, but most importantly, it describes how he's a pioneer in the field of cryptocurrency. And this explores his work, particularly on improving the Nakamoto consensus and creating new protocols. Has the potential to address the long-standing challenge of the crypto trilemma. We talked about that. And it goes on to examine the sort of the low-hanging fruit, the very obvious similarities. Now, Bitcoin Talk was an OG forum that was pretty much the main social space for Bitcoin in 2010 and 2011, 2012 on. But Satoshi disappeared. He says here, Satoshi disappeared from Bitcoin Talk on December 2010. Jonathan joined December 2010 Twitter right here, guys. Okay, right out of the gate, you cannot deny that, right? Even further, guys, you want to hear this. It goes on to maybe his reasonings behind doing that. If it were him, he wanted to continue his work. I don't know. You guys read this. I'll link this in the description below as well because it's a very good read. Nicholas put a lot of time into this, and he deserves the credit. So it talks about how Jonathan, here down further, Jonathan was there at the crypto's inception, talking about Bitcoin. He also authored Ghost Protocol with Aviv in 2013, which was later referenced by Vitalik Buterin in the Ethereum white paper, like we just saw. These coincidences are pretty big, guys, if they are. Because Ghost was published only 4 years after Bitcoin's birth, you'd think that Jonathan had to be working on the same concepts when Bitcoin was born. That's not a lot of time. I have to agree with that. Let me know what you guys think. Nakamoto consensus. The Nakamoto consensus is the underlying mechanism used by Bitcoin, just like we talked about, to maintain the agreement among participants in the network. It goes on to talk about how it relies on proof of work. You guys know that already. If you're watching this video, you know enough about KASPA to understand that it's a generalization of Nakamoto protocol. But at this point, it goes down here and say, at this point, I have to give first mention to KASPA for this to make more sense. KASPA is a cryptocurrency, layer 1, released in November of 21. Its current protocol, Phantom Ghost DAG, is a scalable generalization of Nakamoto consensus. Next up, in the relatively near future of KASPA, the DAG Knight protocol will be adopted. Both of these protocols have their roots in the Bitcoin white paper and the Ghost protocol, which Jonathan co-authored, like we talked about. It goes on to talk about how he'd love to say that these are just trivial academic papers, and he links them all here, which is why I want to link this in the description, because these are worth looking at. These are not just position papers or some half-ass essay. This is serious stuff. You guys should read it. It'll give you more of a respect for Bitcoin in general as well, I think. So what if Jonathan's contributions to the crypto industry starts with Bitcoin and then continues with iterative improvements on Nakamoto consensus over the following years, reaching its full potential in DAG Knight protocol? Wouldn't it make sense for Satoshi to keep on working on the issues of the initial version? I think so. Tell me what you guys think. Could it be we should add 2008 Nakamoto consensus to the list above, to the papers list up here? Absolutely, because if it is him, they're all him. This goes into the even more bizarre, guys. Pseudonym from an anagram. So it talks about how Jonathan Sompolinsky, and there's an anagram for Jonathan Sompolinsky, and it's Ani Satoshi Nakamoto. Guys, all of this has links to Google Translate here. It's very worth 5 minutes of your day to go look at this stuff. It's insane. It basically, Jonathan Sompolinsky is an anagram. It has the anagram on Ani Satoshi Nakamoto, and it basically means Satoshi Nakamoto. It's insane. Birthday. Even more bizarre, guys. Jonathan's birthday is the same as Satoshi's birthday, April 5th. There's several things where he has tweeted, thank you for the birthday wishes and stuff like that, when people say happy birthday, Satoshi Nakamoto. And it could be all him joking around, guys, but maybe not. A lot of people say that the April 5th choice of the birthday, which is the one that Satoshi had listed on the P2P Foundation forum, which is an OG Bitcoin social space as well, is because of this executive order that Roosevelt signed back in the day where they took all the gold from us, basically. April 5th was the day that was signed. So it might not even be a real birthday. It could all just be online persona, but who knows? This is just the description of that. It is worth your time to go here to the link and read it. Personality. Jonathan's personality fits with Satoshi. So he's talking about how laid back and humble Jonathan is. In interviews, it doesn't seem like he wants the spotlight. He's not looking for attention or recognition. He just wants to be sort of left alone to do his work, and sort of like Satoshi would have been, like it says here, just like Satoshi, who hid behind the pseudonym. So this goes on to talk about the crypto trilemma. We already talked about it. This is where it gets wild. In the miscellaneous section, guys, you need to go check this out. Go to the link. It talks about how he randomly tweets back to people when he's not mentioned at all in these tweets. So, like, let's go to this thank you Satoshi tweet. Somebody said on Twitter, thank you, thank you Satoshi, whoever you are. And he responds, Jonathan Sompolinsky, the founder of KASPA, responds, you are welcome. Now, could he just be, screwing around? Maybe. Here's another one. And I don't know why a very serious guy would be just jacking around all the time on Twitter like this. It doesn't fit, guys. Here we go. Satoshi has been dead for many years. He responds, I'm alive. I just lost my private key. Now, I know that that is a joke in and of itself, but this guy isn't just a bored, guy in a basement randomly tweeting jokes out. It doesn't fit that someone so serious and so dedicated to perfecting the Nakamoto consensus would just be joking about things like this. So tell me what you guys think. I mean, I think it's totally possible that it could be him. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, he's a serious person in the space, or Vitalik Buterin wouldn't be quoting him in the Ethereum white paper. Let me know what you guys think about it. I think that there's a big chance. And if that's the case, let's take that even further. What does that mean for KASPA? How big of a deal would KASPA be? KASPA's been around not very long. So how big of a deal will KASPA be in the future if this turns out to be legitimate? What does that mean? KASPA is the next Bitcoin, or KASPA is a perfection of Bitcoin? What does that say about Jonathan? What else is he going to do? Is this all we're going to see from him, or is he only getting started? And also, I found it strange that I can't find the year of his birth. Let me know if you guys have heard it, seen it anywhere. Please let me know. It is extremely hard to find because I haven't found it, and I know how to dig. All you can find is that he claims to have the same birthday of April 5th as Satoshi Nakamoto. So it's a little weird that you can't figure out how old this guy is. And even the different pictures you see of Jonathan, some of them make him look really young, but then some of them make him look, like an older middle-aged man. He's an Israeli computer scientist, and he's doing post-doctorate work at Harvard right now. So he's got to be of a certain age, but we can't really narrow that down. Let me know if you guys have any opinions on that. But let me know what you think down in the comments, guys. Do you think this is the guy? Do you think it's bullcrap? A lot of people are saying that, KASPA's a scam and this, that, and the other. I'm sorry to disappoint those people, but Vitalik Buterin wouldn't be referencing a scam in his own white paper. I think he would be referencing someone that he knows for a fact is a serious player. And maybe Vitalik knows just how serious he really is. Maybe he knows there's a connection to Satoshi or the group of people that was Satoshi. Give me your feedback, guys. I hope you liked the video. I think it's a really intriguing topic that no one seems to be talking about. So I hope that more people start covering this. Maybe that'll happen as KASPA gets listed on Coinbase and Binance and gains steam and gets a little bit more public attention. I'd love to hear from you guys. Again, if you did find any value in it, please feel free to like it and subscribe if you haven't. And I hope to find some more intriguing topics like this to cover. Until then, you guys, as always, just stay calm, make your money, and I'll see you next time. Thanks again, guys.